All right. So commitment because of plans for the future. No, I think there's a lot of adapting to the relationship that you guys are currently in. I think you guys are learning how to work with, the other person, what their strengths are, what your strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what their weaknesses are. I personally don't believe in strengths and weaknesses because I feel like even strengths can be weaknesses at times if used inappropriately, and weaknesses are usually used, or strengths, in my opinion, that are used at inappropriate times, right? And that's just me, right? But with the King of Pentacles coming up here like this, I kind of feel like, yeah, you guys are trying to develop the best structure that you can, not for the relationship, but for yourselves, that will pretty much benefit your relationship. A lot of you guys are looking to be more financially independent, being more financially reliant on the self. Maybe you guys are trying to be more solid and have more comfort being yourselves, right? I think also trying to have more patience with the process of growing something that does take time to, really start showing its beautiful colors. So dedication, effort, and work is definitely is coming from this King of Wands. The dedication and the commitment is required. And on top of that, self-worth, self-care, understanding what your value systems are, and healthy boundaries and routines. So trying to get everything on a really steady flow. You're trying to get yourself structured this week. I think that's a lot of you Librans out there. And I think for the other person, it's pretty much the same thing, but we'll definitely be able to tell who's thinking what with the underlying energy, the challenges, and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to start with this person on this side here, but feel free to pick the other, pick whatever side you want. I'm not going to say who each one is supposed to go to. I'm going to say who I think they may be, associated with. But again, the choice is up to you. You got to match it to what applies to your life. Now, the King of Swords is coming up for this person's mindset going into the relationship. So I already feel like this person is, one, taking this relationship very seriously, and two, they're not connecting with their emotions very well because they're being very serious, right? This person is taking their emotions out of the equation because they feel like they have to be very serious about certain things that they believe, certain ways that they think. They're not being very flexible either. When I see the King of Swords coming up, King of Swords is not very flexible. He's the least flexible king out of all of them. I would say he's probably the most open-minded, because he'll listen to other people's perspectives, but not at any chance will they change his mind. At any chance will they, help him or cause him to change a certain way of thinking for him. Okay, that's just kind of how he is. But the King of Swords is someone that's very serious, and I think this person is very good at communicating. They think they're very clear with the communication. I think this person is very aware of what they believe that a relationship should go, how a relationship should go. They have certain beliefs surrounding not only themselves and how they think they should be, but they also have certain things that they believe a relationship should kind of be centered around, if that makes sense. So this person is very, very adamant about knowing what they know, right? And I think this person thinks that they kind of know a lot of things, if not everything. But at the same time, this person is definitely showing that their intellect is superior. Their intellect is the most important part of the relationship. When, in actuality, it's a balance of both, okay? Both what? Both mind, and spirit. Spirit being the heart. So now the reason why I think this person is definitely coming from a place of logic when it comes to this relationship, or thinking of, being very, logical and detached from their emotions, is because of the things that they've gone through in the past, either with the person that they're with, or the situations that they've been through in their past with other relationships, or the situations in their lives that they've taught them that being apart or knowing how they feel is dangerous. So it's pussified or whatever it is, right? This person is somehow, it's ingrained in this individual that being emotionally open is not necessarily a good thing. They have to come from a logical place in every area in their life, but it ain't gonna work this time. All right, it's not gonna work now, especially with all these cups coming out. Now, the other person showing up here with this Ace of Cups, this person's very obvious. They see this as a new opportunity in love. They see this new beginning in love, not just to love the other person, but to love themselves and know what they can give them themselves from how they love themselves, if that makes sense. So they're loving themselves and understanding that, with how they love themselves, what access can they give to the other person? right? So this person's learning how to be emotionally awoken, more emotionally aware of their feelings, and then to embrace their emotions to the fullest, right? But at the same time, right, this person is in this process and they're trying their very best to give what they can, but this is very much about the other person. Now, I'm not saying this person's sweet, it's very, I'm not saying this person is definitely being selfish. This person's doing the best they can because this is a very new thing for them. Either this is something that they had experience with before, and they're wanting to come from a very different approach this time, and they're trying to be emotionally open as much as they can, or this person is, definitely trying to do something differently, or just person is just, coming from a place where they haven't loved themselves, and they're doing this now, so that way they can give to the relationship in the best way they possibly can. Now, this world shows up in the present, not the present, but in their physical energy, right? How they display themselves to others, and that's showing that the world, that shows success. They feel happy. I feel like this person is very content with how the situation went down, with how the past went down. Some of you guys, this person may be feeling like this is like a unfinished business sort of deal. Some of you guys may be hit with a situation that isn't over, because the other person is showing like literally the card before the world, which is judgment, and that does talk about a second chance. That does talk about another opportunity, a second chance at a situation that you thought was not going to be available to you again, and it has, especially for this person that's very serious, right? And you can understand why this person is very serious, especially if this person is coming from a place, it's seeing that there's an opportunity for something that they may want, but they are taking a very logical approach to it, because whatever they've gone through here with this person may have affected them to be more detached, to be more, logical based, Now, at the same time, the King of Swords doesn't have to just mean all those things. This person could legitimately see themselves as the other person's partner. Like this, if this is you, Libra, this person sees them as your person. And this is Libra, if this is you want to be, the most fair that you possibly can be. You want to master your energy. You want to be the master of your own energy. But I feel like this person does want to be the other person's other half. This is the Libra reading. So whoever this is, even if you are a Libra that's dating another Libra, you can see yourself as the other person's half, and you want to represent that to the best of your ability. But at the same time, you're doing this by, you're doing this and you're showing that you're obviously in a situation where this is not only a blast from the past, but this is an opportunity from the past, and action is being called to be taken at this moment. And it's hard to decide what you're going to be doing, considering that maybe whatever you guys have gone through was very difficult to get through. Now, the reason why the King of Swords is very stubborn, thinks he knows everything, and doesn't really budge on his beliefs in his thought processes is because he has been through so much pain. He's been through so much betrayal. He's been through so much grief, so much loss, so much happiness. He's been through everything. He's been through a lot of things. So he's come up with a certain system in himself that does help him not only protect the softness that he has in the inside, but also, to find success, to find, things that work, that results that he was looking for, right? Because I always see good and bad as some sort of subjective result, right? It's whatever you want it to be, but this person has gone through a situation where they've either split up with this person before, have split up with many people, and this is an opportunity that I think this person didn't really think about having again, and they have it now. So they have this sort of way of being, especially considering that there's a new opportunity here, that they're not willing to change, because I think they see it as it being, it's as the result being that it's being satisfying to a certain degree and willing to settle with it, because whatever they've gone through was hard enough. I'm kind of that's how the kind of vibe I'm getting, especially with the Four of Pentacles as to what they're coming from. But with the other person showing up with the World here, I feel like this person does see the successful completion of a cycle, and they're ready to start anew, starting to embrace something more, right? They want something else. Not necessarily, they don't want anything else, but they're ready for something else. They're ready to grow. They're not ready. They're not interested in staying where they are. You know what I mean? They've gone through some ish. They know that, but they're ready to apply what they've learned through those cycles into the new beginning. That's why this person sees this as the Ace of Cups. The other person, though, no. This person, they see this as like their hard work resulting in a second chance, and that's good enough. And I think it's because they're afraid to take that leap of faith. They're afraid to do, to put themselves out there again, to actually be emotionally vulnerable and possibly be betrayed or possibly be hurt again, or whatever has happened to them before in the past. It's definitely going to require this person to really be brave with this, because it's hard to put your heart out there and it get rejected. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is what the situation is for this other person, especially with the Four of Pentacles. This works it got this person what they, a second chance. They're kind of detached from it. Not showing that I don't think they don't care. There's a whole, when somebody is detaching from a situation, I feel like that situation, unless it's Aquarius, which is totally the opposite, they do care on some level. I just think that they think that they have to be a certain way in order for something to work. But that's not really the case. I think they're logic based because they want a solution and a constant solution for something to work, but they have to have an emotional aspect of themselves available and open to embrace something in order for it to truly grow. Now, the reason why this person is acting the way that they are, like I said before, the Four of Pentacles, is because they're holding back. They have been holding back. This person is totally uncomfortable with the idea of having to change the way they approach, the way they believe, the way they think about how a relationship should be, and how they think they should be themselves, right? I think this person is the King of Swords as well. Usually the King of Swords doesn't work through fear. The King of Swords is very confident in himself, and if need be, he will change. But he doesn't, because he knows that what he does and how he is will work. I also believe this person is the King of Swords because they know that they're ready to approach the situation from a different way, from a different perspective, from a different approach, from a different technique. And it's because they had to break out of their comfort zone. So they're actually fearless. So there's a lot of different ways of reading this. I honestly feel like this person is fearless because they're not seeing this from a place of, well, if I lose everything again, it's over. This person sees this as, let me try something different because I know what I've done, I know what I've been through, and I'm ready to exercise what I know because I'm no longer afraid to lose everything. I have lost everything, and I know what I need to do now to be able to make the most out of what I have at this moment. This is one of the things I see with this person. Okay, but at the same time, this person is very detached too. It's a really interesting combination. It's like this person is definitely knowing what they did differently, but I feel like this person is coming from they're not being emotional. They're not emotionally open, because especially with the Judgment, especially with the Four of Pentacles here, and then the King of Swords, that's closing up. They have emotions there though, and I feel like they are trying to be brave with what they know. They're trying to be brave with their emotions here, and I think that's worth even recognizing, especially for this person that is definitely trying, that you could tell. And the other person is Nine of Pentacles, and they're doing the best they can too. They're coming from a slow start as well. They had to be cautious. They had to be really gradual with things. They were taking their time, but they ultimately were committed from the very beginning because I feel like this is something that they wanted anyway. They wanted what they wanted, and they were diligent to work for it, right? So the reason why this person is showing up with the World and with the Ace of Cups is because they've done the cautious work. They've taken things slowly, and they are taking things slowly, right? They're not trying to rush into anything, which is why this is the World for them. They're just kind of cool with where they are, and they're not trying to rush the situation to begin, nor are they trying to kind of revert backwards. This person is just being at this moment. They're not pushing. So I feel like this person is taking it slow. They're just being in the moment with the situation. And usually, to me, Nine of Pentacles is a very different kind of moment spending, in my opinion. Like they spend the moment taking a look at the details because they're planning for the future. But I feel like with this person being so cautious, so slow, they're taking their time right now because this is something that they honestly value. They really value something that they're looking at, that they're paying attention to, that they're taking a slow time with. And they very much value their own emotions and their own emotional stability. So that's why they're also taking it slow. They're taking it very cautiously. So what brought you two together, being the Knight of Cups, is totally the opposite of the Nine of Pentacles. You guys fell in love with, I don't know, with the idea of love. Some of you guys may have fallen in love with the idea of love, but some of you guys genuinely fell in love with each other because you guys You know, you guys truly wanted each other. You guys had dreams of each other potentially. The Nine of Cups can also talk about, it can also be a dreamer. But at the same time, this person was very, you know, both parties were very focused on what they wanted. They knew what they wanted already. From the very beginning, they knew what they wanted. And it may have been, you know, it may have been like something sweet and romantic, and maybe even something that would, you know, even you would feel like would only last a little, you know, a short period of time. But I feel like it doesn't have to be that way, because I think everybody's coming from a place of, I've experienced this with this and this and this, and I know what I need to do to get where I want to be in my life, especially with you, especially in a relationship. And I think that this was a lot more of an emotional expression versus like trying, you know, just like being in the moment. I'm like, I love you too, and then realizing that you guys don't really feel that way. But the Seven of Swords, it's coming up as a challenge for me, and it's like, I feel like the challenge is more about, you know, taking the risk. Nah, I think it's more about kind of just keeping to yourself, just doing what you do, and not really trying to, you know, kind of announcing things, if that makes sense. Being observant, doing what you do, just loving yourself, loving the other person, but not really like announcing really anything. And I know it's really weird, right? Because the Knight of Cups is someone that's expressive and emotional and all that, but the situation is like the Seven of Swords is this person, like, I think both parties have like cards up your sleeve, not in the sense of like, hey, you're gonna try and take advantage of somebody or bamboozle somebody or do whatever. But the Seven of Swords is the challenge, because I think there's some things that, you know, one has to just trust themselves and trust the other person to just do, and then just kind of see how things work. You can't always anticipate what's going to happen, but you could definitely know what you're going to do. And a lot of those times you don't, you know, I feel like with the Seven of Swords being here is like, you don't always have to communicate those. Like, I think you don't always have to communicate, it's hard to say, because it's like, at the same time, I think it's like saying, like, don't rush the situation, don't feel pressured to do anything outside of your comfort zone. But at the same time, it's like, if it is something that you want, why not take the risk for it? And then at the same time, it's saying to me, like, you know, don't always, like, be observant, don't be so quick to correct, don't be so quick to help the other person adjust. Just kind of be the person on the sidelines to watch it. I'm gonna pull out additional cards for the Seven of Swords, to be honest with you, because there's too many things that it's telling me. Let me see. Why is the Seven of Swords the challenge for Libra this time around? Why is the Seven of Swords the challenge for Libra? Strength. Being brave to take the risk. Okay, it is bravery. It is brave, and and at the same time, it is restraint, because the Strength card, yeah, look at that, the Five of Swords, it's coming up on the bottom of that. Yeah, it's a serious restraint, guys. You know, it's like, there's no need to rush it. There's no need to push forward. There's no need to, to act in haste. I would say just continue to do you and be observant with the other side here. But the best thing right now is to have that bravery to take the risk. Have the bravery to completely go into this and see where you guys can truly lead, right? Making a beautiful dream a reality, but not by, coming out to save everyone. I think the biggest thing is like, not reaching out to be someone's savior is by independence that the King of Pentacles is showing. Independence and self-reliance. And I think everybody has the situation where they have to be self-reliant. I think this person's like working on self-reliance as the Nine of Pentacles, so this is just them starting out, and they're very responsible already, but there's some things that this person can work on in regards to being more responsible. And this person has to learn how to break out of their comfort zone and know that they can always take care of the situation no matter what, even if it's rocky, because stability isn't within what they have, is what they have, isn't what they have physically, but what they have spiritually, which is belief in themselves and stability in their own hearts. All right, but I still feel like that. I was like, yes, pursue one another, take the risk, be brave to be, to face a lot of those arguments and things that you guys may want to avoid and not getting, involved in. But at the same time, don't be running to someone else's rescue when you barely have anything to really give in the first place, like this person here. It's very interesting, guys. Very interesting reading this time around, okay? Oh, wow. And you guys have Polychrome Jasper coming up. So let's see what you guys have. What's that say and what's that mean for you guys in your situation? Polychrome Jasper. Belonging. Polychrome Jasper is a shaman stone that assists with traveling between worlds, offering protection while you travel. It helps you to remember why you are living on Earth. Self-understanding. You belong to a greater group, be it a family or a clan. If you feel isolated, reach out to others out of strength rather than neediness. The stone offers you security. For companionship, choose an animal ally. That's funny. I have a rabbit, so that's funny. Okay, sorry. Grow your efforts in the practical, everyday world. You have the gift of meditation and see all sides of an issue. See, that's what us Libras are like. We can see both sides. We can be objective, and that's the beautiful thing about us. So when somebody ain't objective, we want to know why the other person ain't objective. Okay, but anyway, divination. Big changes are in the offing. Wow, that's interesting. Concentrate on practical outcomes. Be down to earth, but pay attention to the dreams. Be down to earth, but pay attention to dreams. Pursue them dreams. Balance your emotional energies, like I said before. Balance those emotional energies and nurture yourself to find joy. Find your power ally and stay under its protection and guidance. Give assistance to others who seek freedom. Guard against giving away your power. See what I'm saying? That's why I was like, don't be... That's why I was getting that resistance then. Like, it's like something was telling me, don't go out of your way for something. You know, don't expend yourself... That's what I was like, something was holding you back. There's something about holding back. Don't expend yourself. You know what to do this time. Don't give your power away. Don't come to the rescue all the time. Like, you guys love your partner. You want to be that supporter. You are supporting them by not going over there and always like helping them all the time, or by overextending yourself. And I feel like that Seven of Swords was like, don't overextend right now. Don't go too far in regards to the help thing, because there's a balance that's needed in every relationship, and if the other person cannot handle their stuff, then I don't know if they can handle being in a relationship with you when you need some help too. You know what I mean? So it's important, guys. So important. So, let me go ahead and tell you what the chakras are. Spleen, under left armpit.